Can you hear me?
Yes.
Woo! So, most people put a lot of thought and time into deciding what college they want to go to for 4 years. But I knew that I wanted to do the actress thing in New York City, so that decision wasn't very difficult for me. See, my parents had offered to pay rent and pay for school. Like, I just had to get a regular, normal people career and get a regular degree. So, all right, I can do that. I was like pretty jazzed about it. I was like, cool, I'll be in New York, I'll do my thing, and then school will just be this like sideline gig that I have to do sometimes. And it'll be like, you know, when you're watching Full House or any of those family sitcoms and the kids get ready to go to school and then they leave for school and then you don't see them in the TV show and then they come back. It'll be like that. Like that whole portion of my life will just kind of not exist. So the only person that I knew at this time in New York City was my friend Jared. He's here tonight, so excited. And he knew my whole situation, and he was going to school at SVA, the School of Visual Arts. And it's on like 23rd between 3rd and 2nd. And he was like, we should totally get an apartment together. I was like, yeah, we should get an apartment together. And he's like, okay, to make things easier, if you're still looking for a college, I passed by this place. I think it's a school, by my school. I don't know the name of it though. And I was like, okay, cool. So I Google school next to SVA, and it turns out that it is Baruch College, CUNY Baruch, and it's right around the corner from this place, actually. So I look it up online, and it looks like it's a real school. And that summer, I'm apartment hunting, and I'm in the area, and I'm like, I saw this place online, I might as well check it out in person, make sure it's standing. It's not like a 2D model. And I see it. It's a very large building. I'm like, cool, I'll walk in. So I walk into the lobby, and there's some turnstiles that everyone's going through, and I go through the turnstile, and it like, it's not letting me through, and I look over to the security guy, and he's like, oh, you need to use your school ID. And I'm like, I don't have one yet, I don't go here yet. He's like, oh, you can't get in there. And I was like, all right. Lots of steel. Architecture is pretty nice. Lots of happy people. Lots of people. No one's hurt. No one's unhappy. This'll do. So it worked out. I applied online, got in. Not very rigorous with their admissions. And September rolls around, and school's a starting, and everyone is in the same boat I'm in. No one really wants to fucking be there, but everyone's there. And we're all like, I don't want to be here. Awesome, let's not be here together. And I get into my English 102 class, which I'm assuming you should take before English 101, which I didn't. And at the time I was signing up for classes, this was about a week before classes started, so I kind of got the dregs. I got like the very last things that people wanted. Times were all weird, like 7 o'clock in the morning, things like that, but I made do. I'm in English 102, don't know what this is. English, I guess. And in walks Marianne Morton. And Marianne Morton is in like her 30s, 40s. Turns out she's my professor. And she's like clumsy in her own body. She drops her Nalgene bottle within the first 5 minutes of walking into the classroom. And she's got this text and drawl with her, so she seems kind of maternal, she seems very safe. And she's talking about how she wants this to be an open forum for us. She wants people to share opinions. She really wants to hear our point of view. And I'm like, cool, I can do that. That's very easy, actually. I just share my opinion. I have lots of those. Awesome. So weeks go by, and there was lots of talking, lots of her talking, and lots of talking about homeless people. For example, oh yeah, I went to the pizza store before I got here, and there was that homeless man, you know the one I mean, he was right outside there, and I watched inside, and I got him 2 slices of pizza. And ate them. Things like that. Or, what else? She was also very big on positive karma for these good deeds that she did. So, for example, oh, a man approached me on the street and he said, I don't normally do this to people, but I really need $20. And so I gave it to him, and he said, give me your address. I'd really, seriously, me and my wife need this. I want to thank you with a thank you card. And he did. Not only did he do that, I got a letter in the mail. It was for a $20 check. And it said in the memo, thank you, plus interest. Can you believe that? So it was things like this. It wasn't enough for her to tell us these things. She wanted some kind of a response from us, open forum. And I didn't know what this response was, but I was very aware of the silence that would follow when she would say these things. And no one's even looking at her. People are on their cell phones, playing Angry Birds. I don't know. But I was aware of what was going on, and her eyes would go all crazy. And I hate watching people struggle, so I'm watching her wait for someone to respond to her. So I respond, and I'm like, cool! Or yeah, Marianne, Morton. And she started to resent me. I was the only person who would ever respond to her. So soon enough, she's giving us this case study for the Kitty Genovese case. It's a thing that happened. And I read about it in psychology, so I get kind of excited. It's very depressing to read about, but for those of you who don't know, there was a woman in Kew Gardens, Queens. This is a big psychological case. She was murdered in her apartment complex, but a lot of her neighbors who knew her and loved her watched it happen. But as it turns out, no one called the police. And so I'm like, why did she give us this? Maybe we're doing journalism or something. She just handed it and was like, read it, and didn't even tell us what to look for. So I come into class and I'm like, cool, we're going to talk about this thing. And she opens class with, who read it? Everyone, okay. What can you tell me? What happened? I know, right? Can you believe that? All those people I know, and no one called. No one called. You. Yeah, how did it make you feel? I know, right? And then that man turned on the light and no one called it. And I was like, surely this isn't it, is it? But it was. And it finally clicked with me that she was enjoying this. That bitch, was actually enjoying seeing people suffer because she wanted to be the one to help them rise up out of the ruins. She liked it. She really did like it. And no one else was seeing this, and it made my blood boil. And so finally I raised my hand and I tell her, lady, this happens in the world. This was a very studied case in psychology, and it's the bystander effect, which states that, responsibility disperses the more people there are, and individuals feel less responsible to help someone if they know other people can help also. Everyone just figured that someone had called the cops. She turns to me and she says, are you saying that makes it right? And I said no. And I proceeded to march to the head of the English department, Ms. Dean, and I tell her what happened, and she said, I'm so sorry this happened. She's a brand new teacher, but you said that this was English 102, right? I'm like, yeah. She's like, yeah, that's a fiction writing workshop. What are you doing reading nonfiction Kitty Genovese case? Did you read the syllabus? I was like, listen. No. But even more disturbing than that, I went online. I was like, who is this lady? So I look her up, and the first website that pops up is her website on ratemyprofessor.com, which I did not know existed. Anyone familiar with that site? Kids use it as a Bible for what class they're going to sign up for. And she was rated 1 out of 5 stars on that website. And it's all clicking into place that I waited the week before classes started to sign up for this class. She was bottom barrel dregs, and I'd done it to myself. So, the next time I actively decide to not care about my education, I think I'll do a little more homework next time.